Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to azizdrives. Today we have a very controversial car, but a very special car. It's the Toyota Supra Mark V from 2023. The car came out originally in 1978. The first Supra was called the Toyota Supra, and it was a very slow car. Nobody really liked it. Second generation, same thing. 1981, it was a slow car, only producing 170 horsepower, but then they start to get it. They bring out the Mark IV with a turbocharged engine, and in 1990 they introduce you to the 1JZ GTE engine. After that, they all loved the most viral car on planet Earth. The Mark IV came out in 1993 and was produced for a couple of years, and then it vanished. Nobody knew what is going to happen with the Supra. Nobody knew anything about it. And then cooperation with BMW starts, and in 2019 and 2020 they introduce this, the Toyota Supra Mark V. And we have a very special one because we have the Moonstone white matte color, which indicates to the knowers of the Supra that this is a special car which has a very special feature, and it's a manual gearbox. But now let's talk about the engine first. So this is where the controversial part starts, okay? I pull one time, I pull a second time, which is very familiar from a BMW. And the guys that drove a Z4, like me for example, know that the Z4 bonnet starts from here. And it does the same on the Supra. So let me open it and show you what the engine is about. Okay, so the engine is a BMW engine. It's the B58. A B58 produces 340 horsepower, twin-scroll turbocharged, 500 Newton meters of torque, and it's a fantastic engine with a great power output from lower RPMs. So it's a wonderful, wonderful engine. But it's not the Supra Soul, which I get, I understand, but it's still a great, fantastic car. And to prove that, have a listen. Let's have a look at the design. There are some features that remind me of the old Supra. So they kept it pretty much simple for today's terms, so a car can still look modern. It doesn't have those very beautiful and simple lines like the old Mark IV Supra, but the front headlights, they remind me a little bit of the Supra. They kind of have the same form. Then of course we have this opening here that they showed also on the prototype. Openings down there to cool the engine, to press the car down for performance reasons. But then something terrible. Look at that. Fake air vents. And you know what they say? They use this so the aftermarket can optimize it and remove them. I don't know what they thought about it, but okay. Then a second fake air vent right here above the wheelhouse, which is also terrible, but a very beautiful silhouette. I don't know what it is with those fake vents, because we also have one here that has no purpose, but the car looks very fancy from the side. What is unmistakably happened to this car is that it kind of shrink down in size. When looking at this car, it looks much smaller than the old model. You can check that out, by the way. In our description, we have a review on the old model itself. And then we have a greenhouse here, which is kind of located to the back, like on the back tires. So you feel like you're sitting on the back tires, which is also more like a roadster should be. So a large bonnet, a very small greenhouse, no 4 seats like the old model. It has only 2 seats. And then the wheelhouse here, and of course a very interesting and fancy looking back, to be honest. But here they started to get fancy, okay? We have a interesting curve, we have some aerodynamic options. We don't have a spoiler anymore, we have this ducktail. We have a big diffuser, 2 exhaust pipes. We have this Formula 1 light, which is only for the reverse gear. And then the red Supra indicating that we have a manual gearbox. And that's about it. I mean, they did a fancy job, but where's the soul? No soul here, no 4 circles, none of that the old Supra showed has happened. But I think it's because it disappeared for almost 30 years. So we have to give it a chance. And it drives wonderful. If you want to check out the driving review, we did that, of course. Link in the description. Let's have a look at the interior. Welcome to the interior of the BMW of the Toyota Supra Mark V. So as you can tell, we have a lot of BMW stuff, like for example the climate control, like the iDrive system, like those buttons down here, like the buttons here. The top part here is BMW. Those buttons down here are BMW. So everything you kind of see and can look at is a BMW styled car. Also, this middle center reminds me a lot of a Z4. As you know, I own the Z4, so I know what I'm talking about. Also, those buttons here are from BMW, and they kind of mixed a little bit of a Supra analog speedometer in the middle with BMW technology all around. So the car is basically really made from BMW and just turned to a Toyota Supra. What I like though is the feel of the steering wheel. I don't like how big this is, but the feel of the steering wheel is very nice. And of course, this very beautiful and small little manual gear shifter. So it is very ergonomic. They extra designed it for you to be able to enjoy and grip it pretty good, pretty firm. Go into first gear happens very sharp. Second gear also a quick small push, and it's already in gear. And that's about it as far as we can talk about the interior. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, check out SS Performance because they're renting out this beautiful machine, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.